How many cars go through a name change within a car's life? Well, you have the Audi e-tron changing to the Audi Q8 e-tron, and then you have the Vauxhall Mokka changing to the Vauxhall Mokka X, for example. Those are just a few to mention. Interesting enough though, the name changes are done for the facelift. Well, this is the new Alfa Romeo Junior. It is an all-new car and has only just been revealed, but it has already had a name change. You see, it was revealed as an Alfa Romeo Milano, and on the 11th hour they changed it to the Junior. Well, can this Alfa Romeo improve on its rough start in life? Well, let's find out. Hello everyone, welcome to Everything Cars and More. This is the #1 place to be for car news and reviews. Sit back, buckle up, let's go. So let's start with the front, and straight away we can see it has a different front end to other Alfa Romeos from the past. They have moved the number plate to the centre. Sadly, this had to be done because of legal reasons. Anyway, looking past that, we get the usual Alfa Romeo grille up top, and on the electric models, yes, the Alfa Romeo is the first all-electric model. It is covered with an Alfa Romeo motif, which at first does look odd, but you do get used to it. The headlights also have a unique design to them, with having 3 separate LED daytime running lights to them, and this is to show the 3 lights like what other and older Alfa Romeos had in the past. There is also a black panel to make them look like a boomerang style, which again I do quite like. Moving lower down, we get a big central air vent like what we find on other Alfa Romeos, and this ties in very nicely to the rest of the range. We also get some fake side vents at the front too. Move around to the side, and this is where we can see a bit of Stellantis start to show. Specifically the door handles and door mirrors. This is no surprise, to be honest, as Alfa Romeo is owned by Stellantis, which own Fiat, Jeep, Maserati, Vauxhall, DS, Citroën and Peugeot, and many more brands too. Along the side we get some hidden door handles on the back to give this car a sleek and modern as well as premium look, but also to make it more aerodynamic for the electric models. We also get this shiny matte grey effects cladding along the side too, which makes it look much more premium, but also budget at the same time, which I do quite like. The wheels are also interesting and modern to look at too, and on this model they have a little red stripe on them to make it look sporty. Now moving around to the back, and I'm trying to see where Alfa Romeo is going with this. We get this black bar that droops either side, making it look like it has this big sad lip on the back. It is definitely unique and modern looking, but it won't be to everyone's taste to start with. This black bar houses your tail lights, which have the simple 3-line setup like the front, and they also look sleek too to look modern. We also get the Alfa Romeo script on the back, which we haven't seen before. What we don't get though is the Junior name badge, and that is rare to see on other cars. We get more of this plastic on the back, as well as some more red highlights too. Right, let's have a look at what engine options and electric options you can have with the new Alfa Romeo Junior. So the engine range of the new Alfa Romeo Junior consists of 1 petrol mild hybrid engine and 3 electric motor options. Let's start with the petrol mild hybrid option first. This uses the new Stellantis 1.2 litre turbo unit producing 134 brake horsepower. It also has a 28 brake horsepower electric motor connected to it, integrated into the 6-speed automatic gearbox. This means this car can travel up to 50% of the time on electric only around town, which is quite good. 0 to 62 is dealt within 8.5 seconds, which isn't that bad. So let's have a look at the electric options now. All of the options have a 54 kWh battery pack, and this can be charged at 100 kilowatts, which is exactly like the Jeep Avenger, Vauxhall Mokka, Peugeot E2008 and the Citroën EC4. Also like those cars, the base model on the Junior gets a 154 brake horsepower motor, giving this car 255 miles of electric only driving, as well as a 0 to 62 time of 9 seconds, which is decent for this size of car. Now the next option is a new motor setup. This has 237 brake horsepower and this motor is mounted on the front wheels. This will most likely be shared with the new Abarth 600E. This cuts the 0 to 62 time down to 7 seconds, but it does drop the range to 215 miles. Finally, the top of the range model also has a new motor which now produces 278 brake horsepower. Again, this is still front mounted, but Alfa Romeo has made some bespoke changes to the chassis, and that includes a new torsion mechanical differential. It also reduces the weight down to just 1,590 kilograms, which is very low for an electric car. This option reduces the 0 to 62 time down again to 5.9 seconds, and the electric only range is about 210 miles, which for the performance you are getting isn't that bad on this car. Now at the moment you can only get the electric version of the Alfa Romeo Junior in the UK, as well as the basic motor setup, which is a shame at the moment, but we do expect the range to grow with the other motor options and engine options very soon. The price of the new Alfa Romeo Junior at the moment starts at £33,895. Right, let's have a look at the interior. So climbing inside the new Alfa Romeo Junior, and I am sad to say that we have a Peugeot parts bin interior. Right, let's see what that is. Peugeot indicator stalks, gear selector, start stop button, parking brake, drive mode select button, steering wheel controls, window switches, and even a new infotainment system. Right, the infotainment system isn't that bad and it is easy to use and does have Alfa Romeo graphics on them, so I can forgive that. We do also have some climate control switches too, so it is not all on the infotainment system like on some other Stellantis cars in the range. The instrument cluster is also quite good, but it does make it look like it has been fitted into a surround, which I'm not quite sure of. The new steering wheel I do also quite like, and the buttons do feel premium enough. Talking of premium feels, these door cards do feel quite cheap, but the plastics on the top of the dash isn't that bad, and the materials on the dash itself do feel quite premium. The feel is also driver orientated too, which I do quite like, and the centre console is also quite slim and sporty looking. And finally, these seats are some of the sportiest seats I've ever seen from a Stellantis car. They are very comfy but supportive too. The overall feel inside then isn't that bad, and it does feel like a true Alfa Romeo. If you didn't know it had Peugeot equipment in it, then it would feel like it's worth every penny inside and like a true Alfa Romeo. Let's have a look at what it's like in the back. So once you get in the back, past the small doors, which is very typical of Stellantis cars, legroom isn't that bad because of the style of seats, and I must say they have been aggressively styled too. Headroom is decent too, but what isn't is storage, or should I say lack of it. You don't get an armrest, and you also don't get any door pockets either, which is a big shame, and if you have kids in the back, considering this is supposed to be a family car. You also don't get any rear air vents or rear heated seats either, but what you do get now is one USB-C port. Yes, one USB-C port. You will have kids arguing over that one. Anyway, let's have a look at what the boot is like on the Alfa Romeo Junior. So opening the boot to the new Alfa Romeo Junior, and you are welcomed to 400 litres with the seats up. This isn't that bad and is decent compared to its rivals. With the seats down, this increases to 1,265 litres. So in summary then, what do I think of the new Alfa Romeo Junior? Well, the drive is just like any other Alfa Romeo, and you really wouldn't notice that it is a Stellantis car underneath, especially if you go for the more powerful options. This is a truly unique car, and it should be considered if you want a small premium electric car. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.